Welcome back to Mik'd Up. As we mentioned in the Heineken headlines, I need to bring the Heinekens in so you can start. I think it needs to be a beer a day for you.
I know that's tough. That is tough for me because I'm not a beer drinker. Has been pointed out by everybody and their mother on social.
How we gotten the?
You put yourself in there.
Have we gotten the gift
I'm a gamer.
Have we gotten the gift from a longtime listener?
We did. We got it today.
Perfect. So now we definitely need to.
Yeah, Friday.
We're not telling anybody what it is.
No.
I want you to just
pull
it out.
Should increase my time
in the show.
Right.
Heineken. Go ahead and give it a little pub out of Heineken Silver.
Nothing better.
Nothing better. It's so
easy
good.
to chug, easy to pour.
Well, that's not. Yeah, it's easy. It's easy to chug. Well, not really easy for you because you didn't do a very good job of chugging it.
12 seconds chugging a beer.
Or
good, bad.
He spilt it all over himself.
No, barely spilled.
Not good. Anyway, Heineken Silver is their light beer.
We're not going to talk about the shotgun. So
the shotgun was a debacle.
Heineken Silver is Heineken's light beer. It's 95 calories. It's comparable to like what a Michelob would be. I'm not a huge normal Heineken fan, but Heineken Silver actually is very good. Like I said, it's going to be in the rotation of.
This is a game day beer.
The ice chests. Yes. When I go tailgate to watch Jordan Thompson, the boys play, because I can do that now, because I'm no longer an athlete. I can go and I'll have Heineken Silver in it.
Much to the chagrin of many people.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah.
Big former guy.
A big former guy. But with that, I'm not going to keep him long. He's got quizzes and stuff that he has to do tonight. I don't want student before athlete first.
For now.
Starting shortstop for the LSU #1 team in the country, LSU Fighting Tigers, Jordan Thompson. Jordan, thank you for coming on the show, dude. Appreciate you. Lloyd, can you set his mic up, please?
Oh, yeah. Okay, absolutely.
Yeah,
Going to you. You filibuster for me.
Yeah, I'm a filibuster. We just listen. We didn't get prepared. We had a meeting. Yeah, we had a meeting. We had a lot of things going on. Jordan parked in the parking lot of somebody who is
not very fun.
Yeah, he's not very. Yeah. Booted. Actually, I don't know if they booted here.
Yeah,
but
my man spent a lot of money when he saw this thing going on.
The fence up and everything.
He went every.
Yeah.
They built the fence, then tore it down and rebuilt it.
Tough. All right, JT. Thanks for coming on the show. All right. 2 days away from the season. What's the vibe? What's the feel like in the clubhouse? Obviously, you have a ton of hype, which is fine. How are y'all embracing that hype? And how is, the morale or how's the energy going into Friday?
Dude, it's great. I mean, we're just super excited. We're ready to play. I feel like we've been ready to play for the past couple weeks. And I think one of the things that stands out to me is like the freshmen talking about how excited they are for it to go on. It's like they don't even know what's about to happen. Like they know like opening day, but it's like it's more than just opening day or more than just the first game of the season. The feelings. It's just, I don't know, it's something you can't really like speak on. It's just an incredible feeling.
You're the seasoned vet now, right? You got this just year three. Yep. Year three as a starter. As a freshman, obviously, I told the story, like, my first game when I was starting, like, I was in the cage at, like, 12:45, dripping sweat, like, panicked. I'm sure, I was piped, right, ready to go. I'm sure a lot of these freshmen are doing the same way. As a junior, though, it was a whole different feel. It was like, okay, I know what to do. I was a little more relaxed. Do you kind of get that sense? And if you do, what advice are you giving some of the young guys kind of heading into Friday? Because Friday is probably the most hyped they're going to be until SEC starts and then until postseason starts, right? Like the first game of everything is always the most hyped. So what kind of advice are you giving them?
I mean, obviously we're all going to be super excited. Like everyone's going to have the juices flowing and stuff like that, but you really just got to concentrate on like what makes you, like the type of routine that you have, like sticking to it every single day. Like you can't change what you do every single day or the things that make you good just because of the game or what's going to happen. I mean, like I know a lot of guys maybe like they'll get there super early just because like it's opening day and they want to hit a little bit extra, but it's like if that's not their thing, that like I don't know, like you gotta stick to what makes you what makes you good. So I mean,
absolutely.
I only have online classes this semester, so that's like huge for me. Yeah, so
you just guys living the life right now.
We work out in the morning, so like at 8 or 9, I'll get my lift in, I'll go get my breakfast, and it's like I'm back at the field at 11 o'clock, doing my routine that I do every single day. I'll go get food again, sit down for a little bit, hit again, and then practice goes on. But it's like, I mean, that's just something that I'm able to do every day that, I can control,
Yeah, and I think that's the beauty of baseball, right? Like, guys are around the clubhouse all the time, hanging out, shooting the shit, doing whatever. And I think that's how you build, the chemistry on the team, especially all the new guys that you have. Like, I'm sure that's helped, the transition of these guys coming in, some of these freshmen. Jay, you got something?
So, repetitions is experience. Experience allows you to learn yourself.
Yeah.
So you talk about this being opening day in 2 days. So for you, What have you learned about yourself going into an opening day as a freshman and now being able to do it on year 3? What things have changed? What has stuck with you from those days, and what's allowing you to be at your best when it comes Friday night?
I think I've noticed that those first couple games tend to just speed up. Like things are going quicker just because you haven't done it in a while. So I don't know. Just kind of relaxing, being in the present, knowing that I've done this before and it's just another game. I mean, this first game isn't going to be any different than the last game of the season in the sense where it's like if I come up with a runner on second base in whatever situation, I'm just trying to drive a ball to the middle of the field. I'm not trying to do anything different than I do every single day or different than practice. We go over every type of situation that we're going to be in during practice. So take that same type of preparation and trusting it instead of oh my God, I need to get a hit right here. It's nah, take my deep breath, know what I'm going to do. I have a plan. We have our approach. We have a good scouting report. So
let Jay Johnson really come and talk to you right before you're at bat.
Oh, yeah.
I've told Jay, I was I'm not a huge fan. If I was a guy.
We busted about it.
Yeah, I was listen, now, if there's a situation, I understand it, but but you said it helps.
I think he has really good feel for the moment that it happens. I think maybe walking up to the plate, if he knows a pitching change is going to happen, or if he has noticed something and he'll tell you. I like that, knowing what to do before I go up to the plate. But there's also times where I'm in the middle of an at bat and say I got a bad strike called on me, or I took a bad swing and maybe I looked mad or upset and I step out of the box. He'll look at me, say something. And just calm us down, get us right back into the present, into the moment, letting that go, and now I'm back here. So I think in that sense he's really good about it. So I mean I enjoy it when he does it. It's very beneficial for me. I feel like
we spoke with Jay last Monday. Obviously he comes on the show a lot, and he's pretty honest and upfront and open about a lot of different things. Yeah. And he talked about how he's pretty close on figuring out who the starting lineup would be, at least on opening day, right? It's going to be, y'all are so deep and you have a lot of guys that you can rotate in and out, that there's going to be some change throughout the course of the year, right? But when he mentions these types of things, there's 4 guys in the lineup that he says it's in there every single day, right? Dylan Cruz, Tommy White, Trey Morgan, and you, right? And it's my segue into the next question, right? Is you have been here for 3 years. You've been the starting shortstop for 3 years. You're very good defensively. Last year, you struggled early on defensively. I think that there were some reasons there, but what I respected was you didn't make any excuses. You didn't come out there in the media and say why this is happening, but you had a knee procedure. You still weren't 100%, but you went through there every day and posted up every day. Towards the end of the year, played great, right? People's perception is what they want their reality to be. So they forget about that last month, 2 months of the season. They only see the beginning of it, right? And so I guess my question to you is, when you went through all of those struggles and then you see Jay come out there and vocally promote, say, hey, he's our guy, he's going to be in there along the lines with everyone else, how does that make you feel, and what did you do to be able to overcome that? What did you learn about yourself?
I mean, just you got to stick to it, man. I mean, early in the season, I had that surgery right before the season started, and you say, during the beginning of the season, kind of struggled defensively, wasn't able to get to some balls I wanted to get to, or maybe my footing, feet weren't working the way that,
How important that is that with throwing the football, throwing the baseball across the diamond.
It all works together. Yep. You gotta have good feet.
It's a dance.
There were some, exactly. And there were some times where I wasn't able to make the moves that I wanted to make. But I mean, if I didn't go through what I had to go through the first month of the season, am I the guy that I was at the end of the season when I was making plays or when I was coming through hitting and stuff like that? So I think it was one of those things where it's okay, from November until probably a week and a half before the season, it's I wasn't really doing much.
Right.
I wasn't feeling good. I didn't know that I was going to need surgery from November, or between November and January.
It just didn't get better.
That's exactly. So we came back and it was we need to get something done. So we ended up getting it scoped out and stuff like that. Had a bunch of scar tissue removed, and it was supposed to be an 8-week recovery process, something like that. And I was playing in the starting lineup 3 weeks
Yeah.
later. So
and everyone's body, like everyone's body recovers differently.
Yeah.
And that's what people don't understand too. Like they tell you 8 weeks. Obviously, you started before the 8 weeks, but people sit here and think, well, 8 weeks, he should be good.
Yeah,
it doesn't really work.
Yeah,
that
well,
way.
that's what I'm saying. So it's like, I went in there and I knew what I had to do. I had to play shortstop for our team to be the best team that we wanted to be. And I'm not going to say that the knee surgery is the reason why I made all the errors that I made, but if you came 3 weeks off of surgery,
Right.
are you going to be the best shortstop in the country?
Right.
But it was just one of those things where it's like that first month of the season was like, that's when I'm getting my game reps to be ready
Yep.
Right.
for the end of the season
Right.
when we need to be the best.
Yeah.
Right.
And I feel like going through what I went through, I was just putting my head down. Like all of the coaches knew, like everyone in the locker room knew what I had gone through, what I was going through, and where I needed to be at the end of the season. So it was just one of those things where it's like, we're riding with this, and whatever happens is going to happen. But we went out there every single day, and it didn't stop us from showing up early, working hard, and trying to get everything figured out.
Right. Now, what makes LSU so great are the fans, right? Like they're passionate, they love it, but the negative part of that is they're passionate and they love it, and they can be brutal sometimes, right? Like they see something, they want to see what they thought was going to happen, it's not happening, right? So I'd imagine going through that stretch, like that's tough because not a lot of places around the country, really outside the SEC, have the following that LSU baseball has, right? If you're struggling at UCLA, nobody is really going to be talking much about it because nobody's seen it. But here you get 12,000 a game. It's important to Baton Rouge, it's important to Louisiana, and so it gets magnified, right? Yeah. And I'd imagine through that course of the month, 6 weeks, however long it was, you had some doubts in yourself and some low points. Can you pinpoint, like, there was a point in time like, damn, this was the lowest I was, and then I had to, like, figure out a way to get out of it. And how did you get out of it?
I don't know. Like, it's just one of those things where, like, coming out of high school, it's not something that you really deal with. Like, and if I were to have gone to pro ball out of high school, like, would I have dealt with that the right way, Right. So being able to be in the situation that I was, I'm kind of glad that I went through what I went through when I did, because that made me the baseball player I am today, like the person I am today, having gone through those experiences. But, you try not to, like, look at it and see that stuff, but,
Right.
like, obviously it's like you're going to see some of the things, but you just got to put your head down. Like, I knew who I was as a player, and I knew that what I was doing was for the benefit of the team, even though, like, maybe from the outside looking in,
Right.
it didn't always look like that, but there was a bigger plan and purpose for what that team, like, had. So, it was like, it was easier for me to just put my head down and keep going every single day, instead of letting that affect me in any type of way.
So, that's honestly a great answer. I think he's going through it. I'm going through it. I'm pretty sure that was your moment. I think especially once you get here, everybody is going to go through that, like, proverbial fork in the road where it's either left and it's
perfect use of proverbial.
You're out of here, or right and it's I'm going to figure it out and I'm going to get it done.
Yeah.
I think a lot of, you probably hit that point where you felt like I took the right turn and I'm on the right way.
Yeah.
Being your third year here, being that there's younger guys, obviously more freshmen, I'm sure that has allowed you to kind of be able to be like an older mentor to these guys. How do you approach those situations, and knowing that you've gone through the things you've gone through, and how can you convey help to those younger guys as they're trying to find their way,
Well, I think that it's huge, like, for me to be able to do that to a younger guy. It's like there were guys like Cade Beloso and Gavin Dugas that were doing that for me when I was a freshman. Like, Cade Doty was a big one for me, like, throughout the past couple of years. So having those guys, like, in my corner and seeing the way that they went about it when I was struggling, it was like, okay, I've been through some tough things, and I know, like, how it can, like, go one way or the other, like you said. And, like, you see some freshmen that maybe aren't having a good week or aren't having a good couple days, whatever it is. It's easier for me to know, like, what it takes for me to get the best out of them without them taking it the wrong way and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think just having that chain of older players and leaders that, like, do it the right way and show you, like, what it takes, and that you can't, like, let one day or one at bat, whatever it is, like, go to the next pitch. You really have to separate it that fast, or else, like, you're going to struggle. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I think having those older guys when I was a freshman that led me in that direction, it's just been easier for me to just, like, do it, like, unconsciously, not even, like, having to go up to a kid. It's just like, hey, like, what's up, bro? Like, how you doing? Like, hey, fine. Like, just stuff like that, you know?
Right.
Yeah. Well, especially in a place like LSU. And I don't want to harp on the injury thing, but I do want to get your perspective just a little bit of how hard it was for you to see the outside noise and hear from other people. Like, obviously, it was prevalent on every social media outlet. There's nothing you can really do to avoid it. For you to be able to internalize that, be able to get almost climb that mountaintop and be able to say, y'all saw me at 60%, wait till I get to 100%. Was that kind of the mindset going into it?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of, at that point, you kind of just like, you got to block it out. Yeah. It's like, I know who I am as a player and the things that I've done. Like, I've had some really good moments here, and I've had some moments that probably weren't as great, but like knowing what I can do and like knowing that, you know, I'm not even playing like at the level that I know that I want to be able to play at. It's like, I spent the whole summer and fall basically getting myself to be 100% to where like I have no.
Not even 100%. Like if you're going into that year, it's just I'm just trying to get on the field because I know they need me.
Yeah. I mean, it just takes a lot. I mean, you really got to be there mentally. Like you really can't let that stuff affect you as hard as it is to like easier said than done. I mean, like you really just got to put your head down and know like yourself as a player and like your teammates around you and stuff like that. When everyone's got your back and your coaches have the confidence in you, like it's like why wouldn't I go out there and do everything?
Right, and I think that's going to be more like you look. Everybody looks at the talent in the lineup, and everybody looks at the talent in the pitching staff. But I think what they don't see is the stuff that you're talking about, right? Yeah. The guys who have your back and the guys that are in your corner and the guys who are picking you up when you're struggling. And I think that's the separator from teams who are talented to teams who are talented but also win, right? And I think that y'all have that, right? And you know, we're talking about you, and I want to keep talking about you, but I want to kind of shift gears to the offensive side. Right? You talked about some of the big moments. One of the biggest moments that had to be the walk-off homer in Minute Maid, right? Like that was electric. Like I was watching it. It was unbelievable, right? So that's something that everybody wants. And you're a kid, you're in the backyard, bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, like walk-off homer. That's the thing, right? But offensively, right? So sometimes defense and the struggles lead to the offensive struggles, right? Because you're in your own head and you're doing some things. Last year, you had a pretty good offensive season, I would say, right? Like you hit 286, and you had 6 or 7 homers, something like that. Yeah. What do you want to do offensively to take the next step and say, you know, because I think just from watching, like there's a lot more in there, right? Like there's a lot more juice in the bat, right? There's a lot more. Hey, because you came up clutch a lot. Like you had a lot of big moments where they needed you, you came up, right? So how do you, over the offseason and over the course of the fall, train yourself or teach yourself how to, hey, I need to be more consistent? What have you done to, like, improve that part of it?
Yeah, well, I think the biggest thing for me is going back for the season past and seeing, like, where I was really good and where I wasn't as good and what I was doing. Okay, and I see at the back half of the season, I was probably the most consistent that I was the whole year, and I was, like, kind of just really simple with my approach. You know, I was getting my foot down, and I was seeing the ball for a long time. I was able to use my eyes. I was laying off tough pitches. I was getting on base like more than I had the whole season. So I think just building off that and knowing that, okay, I know what it takes for me to be good, and now I just need to be able to stack the days where I'm just, you know, getting 1% better every single day, you know, and not trying to do more than what I need to do. Right. Exactly, yeah. I think there were times where it's like, okay, if I struggle, I was probably trying to do more than I was capable of. We're trying to let the moment be bigger than it actually was. And I think the biggest difference between going from freshman year to where I am now, it's like I know how to calm myself down, or I know how to keep myself in the present and work from pitch to pitch instead of at-bat to at-bat or game to game and stuff like that. So I think
having Jay in your corner has got to help a little bit too, right? 100%. Like obviously you've paid your dues, you've been here for a while, you're the guy, you're the veteran guy as shortstop. And I'm not saying that you get complacent and you don't work hard because I'm the starter. But knowing that the head guy is saying, hey, he is our starting shortstop, he's going to be in the lineup every day, that's got to give you some
vote of confidence.
Yeah, some confidence in like, hey, if I struggle the first week or two offensively or defensively, like he's going to stick with me and like he knows it because he's seen it, right? That's got to help a little.
No, 100%. Knowing that he has that type of trust, it just makes you like play free and like really allows yourself to be you and just go out there every day and have fun really.
Right.
So, but, I mean, it's huge for us.
Okay, but with that, so here's I guess a two-part question in a way, because just like you said, like baseball is like unpredictable, right? Like you could be the hottest man ever in every scrimmage you show up, and all of a sudden opening day shows up, and I don't have a hit for the first 4
days. Coach, you can be hot for 3.5 months and not getting out, and then all of a sudden,
it goes nowhere.
What's going on.
So two-part question, and I'm a firm believer in this. I think every player gets the best out of themselves defensively when they are performing near what they think they are at the plate. With like how you view yourself at the plate. So how do you view yourself as a hitter when you're at your best? And two, how hard is it for you to separate the offensive side from the defensive side and understand that as a shortstop in the middle of that infield, you have to be present there at all points, no matter what happens on the offensive side. So how do you view yourself and how do you separate those two things?
Yeah, I mean, when I'm going good and I'm locked in, confident at the plate, I feel like I can't miss a barrel or like the pitcher can't get me. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't.
I'm glad
matter.
you say that too, because a lot of people don't understand. Like, I could be, I don't know, dude. I could be hitting 400 over my last 5 games and literally haven't hit a barrel, and people don't understand. Like that stuff weighs on people, because you're always trying to find barrel. I could be 0 for my last 8. If it's 8 barrels, you probably not gonna tell me anything. I don't really care, right? So
So like when I'm confident, locked in, stuff like that, it's like I genuinely do feel like I can't miss a barrel or I'm taking pitches and I'm gonna get on first base. I mean, and it doesn't matter what the guy's throwing, if he's throwing 98 or if he's throwing 88, like whatever it is. When you're in that zone, like.
Right.
I mean,
that's a good spot to be. That's a good spot to be.
It doesn't matter. Like you step
walk
into
up to the
box,
you almost cocky and
strike one, don't care.
My freshman year, K. Doty had a week where he hit like 6 home runs.
I remember that.
It was like the week he came back after he was hurt. And I remember talking to him, and it was like he said, "I can't imagine going up to the plate and not hitting a home run."
Right.
And like there's times where it's like you go through that where it's like I'm not getting out. Like it doesn't matter. And then again, like separating that. I mean, I think definitely when things are going good at the plate and then you run back out to your position, you kind of have like a different type of like
little bounce to you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like I'm not gonna say like cockiness or arrogance, but like you definitely feel it. You know what I'm saying?
And you should. That's how you should feel, right? Like,
and that's awesome because it makes you play even better. But like I think again, going back from my freshman year to where I am now, like being able to separate that, like okay, when I'm doing good at the plate, like I know I'm gonna play the best defense. But if I'm not doing great at the plate, I have to be even better on defense. Like that has to be the mentality, you know.
Well, and watching baseball now, like the way baseball is the highest level, right? If you look at it, it used to be if you don't hit, you're not in the lineup. Now you're looking at it and you're seeing some guys who are like, damn, this guy can't hit, but they find a spot for him because he's that good defensively. So that's it's a little bit old school in that sense. Everything else about the game is kind of new school, but in that way, it's like, hey, you know what? If this guy is that good defensively and we have to have him in the lineup, they're going to find a spot for you. That's got to help say, you know what? I don't just have to hit. Because when I was coming up, if you didn't hit, you ain't playing. You know what I mean? That was just the thing.
And if you hit, they found a spot for you.
Yeah, right.
Didn't matter what else you could do.
Yeah, they didn't value defense as much. Now they do, and I think that's, at least confidence-wise, and that's something that pushes you. Like, you know what? I gotta focus defensively because that matters.
Yeah.
And you can see, oh god.
Whoa, what the heck was that?
Gone. And you can see like like you can see when people are out there, like if they're struggling at the plate, when they go, even doesn't matter what position you play. I know they do it a lot in outfield. When you see people start working on like their swing in the middle of taking ground balls, like he's still thinking about his last at bat. Whenever you can wash that off and be like, all right, I'm stroking at the dish. Like I can just go out here. That's when you start backhanding, like doing stuff in the middle of the infield where you feel like I can't miss a ground ball either. Like that's when everything kind of comes together. When you have the team that y'all have, there's, especially with the vote of confidence you got last year with Jay Johnson, it feels like that's not something that you have to worry about. Like it's not a situation where you have to look over your shoulder, regardless of the people that they've added, because y'all have added some studs from the portal.
I'm glad you said, because I want to get into the team a little bit, right? Like the expectations are high. We were on the team in 2009, we won it, and the expectations they weren't as high as they are for y'all. Like we were number 1 in the country, but y'all are like the consensus number 1 team in the country, right? And when we were there, those expectations, they had gone to Omaha the year before. I came in as a freshman. Those expectations were, we wanted those. Like, that's what we felt like we deserved. We've earned that. And now we go on the field and say, hey, we have to prove that. And that's what we wanted. Like, that was our motivating factor. We didn't say, oh, we're number 1, we're going to be fine. What's the mindset? I would imagine it's kind of similar to that. Before the season starts, like you like the fact that you have the target on your back?
Oh, 100%. 100%. I think it gives us even more confidence, because we know, like, the type of talent that we have in the locker room and stuff like that, but we also put in the work every single day.
Right.
Like, practice doesn't start till 2:30, like, usually every single day, but there's guys there from 9 o'clock until 9 o'clock every single day. Right. So, I mean, like, we know, like, just from our preparation standpoint, like, we're prepared, we're ready to go. And then you add the talent that we have and stuff like that. I mean, it's just like...
Jay's come on here and say he kind of knows who he's going to have, and I think he said he'd have a better idea starting Monday. Mm-hmm. Has he? You don't have to tell me and disclose it, but has he told y'all who the starting lineup's going to be? I guess he disclosed that information to y'all already. Like, hey, this is going to be our Friday night opening day lineup.
No,
he has not said anything.
He has not said or anything like that. I know Paul's pitching. That's about it.
Yeah, right. I think we all.
Yeah.
He already came out. How has he been?
Pitching.
He's been nasty.
I think DC will probably be in center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Playing center.
Yeah, I think
sure.
we know those, but obviously you have so many guys,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's so many players on the team.
Yeah.
You have some veteran guys. I mean, you have Schobert hit 18 homers last year, and people aren't even mentioning him in the outfit. I would imagine that he would start the game, at least Friday, just because he's a veteran, as one of the starters on Friday. I have no reason to say that other than the fact that he was there, he hit 18 homers, whatever. And some guys played a little bit last year. There's probably two positions that are coin flip up for grabs, and that would probably be second base and the catching position, right? So second base, that's your battery mate. Like, that's the guy that you have to turn double plays with. Jay's mentioned 4 guys that he likes there. What do you see from the second base position? You don't have to tell me who the favorite is or who you like better there, but as far as the guys that are talented, like, what are you seeing from that position?
I think the versatility is just really cool to see. Like, we have the left-handed bats, we have the right-handed bats, we have the right-handed power bats that could all fit that position. They can all turn the ball. Like, whoever coach decides to put there is going to be able to get the job done on a daily basis, whatever it is. Or if it's someone that starts and plays five innings and then gets substituted in, like, because a new pitcher comes in, like, full confidence that they're going to be able to do the job at the plate and then do the job on defense. So I think having that is, like, I don't know, it's something different because you don't always have that type of depth or versatility. I mean, you see that in the outfield too. Like, we got
6-7 guys.
We got guys, like, that can play.
Paxton Kling's going to fight for a starting spot as a freshman. It's just you have guys that are going to be first rounder after first rounder coming out in the outfield.
Yeah, and it's really cool to see because, like, you have those players that are going to be great, that are going to be Major League Baseball players that, might not play every single game. But, like, they still go out there every day. They work super hard. And, like, we know that we're going to be good. We know what we're working for. Right. And, like, everyone is accepting, like, the role that it takes for us to be the best team possible, especially for this team.
The buy-in.
Yeah. 100%.
From a position player standpoint, because we haven't really we've gotten Jay's kind of point of view of this thing, maybe a little bit of Wes's, kind of ours too, but, like, we haven't gotten a chance to talk to, like, any position players since – this is kind of formed to where the team is right now. So from a position player standpoint, the arms you're seeing on this team right now. How impressive is it, and how does it feel knowing that, dude, these are the guys we're going to get to play behind, and then obviously these are the same guys that's going to be getting us back into the dugout. How do you feel about what y'all have at that position right now?
Well, like, from an offensive standpoint, like,
and he laughed too. So
we've already faced the best pitchers that we're going to face all year on a weekly basis.
Right.
Like, we might face a Paul Skeens once or twice during the season, and I've faced him 5 times already.
Like, how'd you do against him?
I mean, he's gotten the best.
Yeah, I mean, he's supposed to.
I've gotten him a time or two. But I mean, like, he goes up there every single time, and, like, he does his thing.
It's a problem.
But it's like, when he's getting everyone out, it's like, oh, this is going to be sweet when I'm playing shortstop.
Right.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's just super exciting to see because that we're both getting better. Like, there's times where the offense just kills it against whoever was pitching, And it's like, okay, like, we're hitting these guys. And then there's a day where the pitching just dominates, and it's like, like, they're going to do that for us.
Right.
So for both ways, it helps us. Like, offensively, we're getting better because we're facing the best pitching in the country, basically.
Yep.
And then our pitching staff is going to face the best lineup in the country all the time. So I think as we play our scrimmages, it's like we're hungrier and hungrier to play other teams, but we still don't know, like, what that is even going to look like because you have 2 basically, like, loaded rosters playing against each other every single weekend. It's like, how good really are we?
Yeah.
Like, we know that we're good, but we won't know until we're playing against other teams.
Right.
When everyone's on the same side.
Because at the end of the day, you can be the best team in the world, a la Tennessee last year, and not go to Omaha, and then it doesn't matter, right? They may have been the most talented team in baseball, but they didn't go out there and win it. So at the end of the day, that when you go out there, like, we got to go out there and we got to go out and win. That's just that's what it is about, right? for me, whenever I was at LSU, I got there as a freshman. Mm-hmm. It was cool to see, and the guys that came in my class, like, developed together, right? So you got there as a freshman. Yeah. You've obviously developed as a player, and you've gotten better and better and better. Mm-hmm. But you got to see some of the guys that you came in there as freshmen who probably maybe couldn't make their hundreds or make their sprints or do these types of things, and then they've, kind of matured and understand it, right? And you see guys who came in with a lot of talent. So I guess the whole point of asking this is you had Ty Floyd coming as a freshman, mm-hmm. right? And Ty Floyd had a lot of talent. He was a guy who was supposed to be a guy. Yeah. But, for some reason or another, like, he had some flashes but never really, like, consistently clicked. Mm-hmm. And you saw it towards the end of last year click. Yeah. And then I'm assuming that, he's probably throwing 97, 98 right now, and, like, he's got a nasty changeup. Yeah. And, like, how cool has it been to see him make that jump? And what have you seen from him on the mound right now?
Dude, it's been awesome because I've known Ty since, like, the junior summer going into my senior year doing, like, the perfect game events, right. Whatever it is. Like, so I've known a lot of players that are on this team already just from doing stuff like that. And he was pitching. I was like, damn, this guy's he was good. He was already throwing 95 and stuff like that. And then you go to now where it's like, okay, he's throwing 95 to 98 sometimes with that
ride.
Oh my god, yeah, that ride, and then he's flipping in that curveball, and now he's got a changeup. It's like, okay, like from our freshman year, he's throwing a lot of fastballs and not as much of the curveball, or maybe not landing the curveball as consistently. And now it's like, yo.
So people don't really talk about him much, right? Mm-hmm. I think he gets forgotten. Is he probably maybe gonna start in the rotation? Like,
I have no idea.
I know you don't know, but like, I would imagine that he has starts under his belt. Yeah. He would be a guy that I feel like Jay would want in there. I know Jay's talked very highly about him, so I just don't understand why people forget about him because he's that nasty. He's got 3+ pitches.
100%. Yeah. Like, I don't know what his role is going to be, but I know whenever
he's going to have one.
When he is in the game, like, he's getting outs. He's going to strike guys out. He's going to get guys to pop up, and he's going to make guys look silly. And I think it's cool because on the road, me and him were roommates last year. We lived together. We lived together like at our house here, but like we were always roommates on the road and stuff like that. So like I remember when he wasn't pitching during the season, like just going through it every day, talking like he's getting better, but he hasn't gone in as much. And then all of a sudden, I think it was against Ole Miss. Yeah. He pitched. He gave up a home run to Tim Elko, I think, but it's like other than that, he had a bunch of strikeouts. He threw, I think, 5 innings. Yeah. Like. No runs after that, and we ended up losing that game 5-3 because it was the one that came over from the night before. Yep. But from that point on, it was like every start, he's going 5-6 innings, getting a bunch of strikeouts. Guys can't hit him. Right. So it was really awesome to see, like, being with him on every road trip or whatever it was, like, hey, you're pitching tomorrow. Like, you're like knowing he's going to do his thing. Yeah. Like.
That's fun.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I love seeing him going out there because I know he's going to give us everything that we need.
And transitioning from last year to this year, obviously the addition to Wes Johnson, have you been able to see the difference? That obviously transfer portal bringing a lot of guys that you haven't seen before, but have you seen almost a different approach or maturation from the pitching staff as a whole from guys that you faced before?
Yeah, I think the whole staff in general is throwing harder, way harder. And then, like, guys are able to mix their pitches in ways that they weren't before.
You got a guy knuckleball now?
Exactly.
How is that?
I don't think I've seen it. I haven't seen it. But I know he messes around and throws it every now and then. But it's like...
don't be surprised.
He's definitely going to pull it out in the game. Watch it.
Coach Wes is really smart. He knows what he's doing with the pitchers. Like, we'll walk in when we're hitting in the cages and they're working in the pitching lab, and I'll just sit in and watch guys throw for a minute or hear them talk, and it's like there's like... It's obvious why the guys are doing as good as they're doing, Right. But it's really cool because, like, he knows what he's doing for every hitter. Like, he knows how to get hitters out. So as long as our pitchers are going to execute the plan that he has set out, like, they're going to get guys out. Yeah. And the type of talent that we have and, like, the work and stuff that guys have put in, it's like we know that they're going to execute their pitches. Like, there's no doubt about that, like, in our heads at least. Right. So, I mean, it's just super awesome to see them go out there every single time. It's like pounding at the top of the zone, hitting the black on the edge, in and out, like whatever it is. It's like that's a tough pitch to hit.
Yep. Yep.
Like it's a strike, but it's not a hitter's pitch.
Right. It's not something you want to swing at.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't want to walk back to the dugout.
They're making those pitches. Yeah. So it's like there's times like I can just tip my hat.
Yeah.
Because
that's all you
no
can
one
do.
else is doing that.
Yeah.
No one else is making that pitch. So it's like if you're getting me out right now in an inter squad game, like that's fine because I know when I'm playing shortstop in a month. Like, I'm going to be laughing at the guys that are walking back to the dugout.
No doubt.
No,
Dude,
it's awesome to see.
I told you I wasn't gonna keep you too long. I kept you longer than I wanted to keep you. I know you got stuff to do. I appreciate it. Just one more question.
Bro, he's on online classes.
Yeah, but he's got actual quizzes he's got to do, man. Come on, dude.
Right.
Shoot him up. What are we in? What's the major?
Sports admin.
Oh,
Yeah,
I got those. I'm sure they haven't changed in 10 years.
Yeah.
You think he did those when he was
Who's
here?
the teacher you didn't like?
Oh, D. Jacobson.
D. Jacobson. She still teaches?
Yeah, she does. I've had her in school.
She's great. She's great. You're the only person I said
she's
didn't
good
like
to
it.
us.
Don't
She's
do
good to
that.
What?
Don't do that. That's
I
very
didn't do anything.
disrespectful.
Shout out
fail
to
me.
Jacobson.
Yeah,
Probably
shout out
deserved,
G.
you probably deserve to get failed.
But she tried
Probably
to.
so,
huh?
Yeah, right. You know what I mean?
Just try to graduate.
Before we go, right? So
Champions.
obviously the opening day is Friday. You know, for me it was like opening day. You start seeing the buzz, but then you don't really get that buzz again until SEC because then you start. Then it warms up. You start see people tailgating. What is your favorite thing about pulling up to Alex Box? Right, like the anticipatory. I was gonna say that anticipation of the game, of the season, of a series. Like
Fred's.
everybody has something. I mean, that was post, you know. But everybody has something that like makes them think about LSU baseball, or like kind of gets you fired up, right? For me, it was like driving down Burbank and seeing everybody tailgating with the tents and the grills and then music out at 2:00, right? Like for me, that was it. Like, is there something specific about LSU fans and coming up that makes you like, damn, all right, it's here?
Nah, I think you hit it. I mean, like when you pull up to the field on a Friday for an SEC series against Arkansas or whatever it is, and
Tennessee.
there's fans at the stadium already doing stuff before you even get there. Like I'm not even here for my early work yet, and everyone's already out here ready to watch us play. It's like, all right, like it's time to go. Like it's fun. Like nobody cares like that other than they do here in the SEC and stuff like that. Like if I went to a college baseball game in California, like there's gonna be 400 fans.
Right.
You know, there's 1,500, 2,000 people waiting outside before like we're even getting to the field. You know, we're getting 4,000, 5,000 people at a midweek game.
Right.
You know,
Right.
Like so it like. For it to mean that much, I mean, like it means even more for us.
I would like for them to figure out a way to have it a little bit more rowdy in certain areas of the stadium.
I know
like,
they gotta.
We're working on that. We're trying to promote it on here.
We're trying to talk in the.
They need to have
when they're getting rowdy in right field. You gotta let them get rowdy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When we go to Tennessee, they're not stopping that.
They should.
When we, like,
mean,
they're
look
not,
at-
They're not stopping that at Ole Miss.
here
yeah,
too.
they're not
It was the
stopping
same
it
thing.
anywhere else. We can't
They
stop
need
it
to
here.
Look at ECU.
They need
Oh,
to.
my
We
God.
can listen. We can nicely matriculate the little kids to different spots.
Exactly,
Like that should just be a student
Well,
section.
yeah, exactly. It's the student section, so like let them be students.
Yeah.
Let them
Right.
be 20.
You don't go sit in the football student section. When you go to the football student section, you know what you're gonna get.
Exactly.
you're getting,
right? Like that should have. They should have.
You're getting
that.
Lloyd.
Yeah.
Like
You're gonna learn. You're gonna learn a new word today.
You don't see kids and parents go into the right the berm and Ole Miss,
Yeah.
right? They're
No,
not part of the
exactly,
beer
yeah.
showers,
No,
but that's
no way.
awesome,
Yeah.
right? And so
Oh, it is awesome.
we're working on it. We're trying.
Yeah.
I'm pushing for it. Now, I talk to Jay all the time. Like Jay, we got to figure this thing out, man, because
No, we like it when it gets rowdy like
Yeah.
that. 'Cause,
everyone does.
Yeah.
Like
Because when we go on the road, it's like we're trying to get rowdy because that's when
Yeah.
we play the best. Because
Right.
then you have that like type of environment against you guys. It's like us against everyone here.
Yep.
So it's like when
Road dogs.
Yeah, exactly. But when the fans are getting rowdy, it's like okay, here we go.
they got it.
Yep,
I
here
mean,
we
look,
go.
and
Like,
we
they
talked
get what
about
we
it.
got.
exactly.
We
Yeah.
talked about
Because
it
everyone
before.
doesn't deal with it.
Right.
Everyone doesn't deal with it, Greg.
Well, and that's also we talked about before in here. Like, there's been times where fans in Alex Box Stadium have won games for us, right? Like, we've been down 6-7 runs in the 7th, 8th inning, and the starter comes out. He dominated, and the guy in the pin's on the field, and he's throwing a couple balls, and he gets worn out by the fans, and now he shits the bed when he comes in the game, and the game's over. We end up winning, and I firmly believe that the crowd
100%.
does that, and so you need to have that. And I hope that they figure out a way to do it. I know Jay's got a bunch of improvements he wants to do to the stadium, and that's one of them. I think you got to figure
They
out
know
a
what
spot.
to do.
Yeah,
They'll figure
they
it
do.
out. They'll get
They
it
do.
straight.
Dude, I appreciate you, man.
Wait, hold on. Is Crunk officially dead? We can't do any props.
Crunk
Or-
is not dead.
What are we gonna do about
He's
that?
not dead. Hey.
Keep it
there's
in the Dougie?
surprises.
Oh, I like
Boy, got
I
surprises.
like it.
We'll see what
I
happens.
mean, I heard you're like extremely funny and your personality is A+. That's what I've heard. I heard like when they say funny guy, Jordan Thompson
I'm at the top.
And I think it's not like, hey, I'm a jokester. I think
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just more your personality,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
you have the
It's
cool
funny chirps
California,
every now and then.
just
Yeah.
chill.
Yeah.
You know? You're from Cali, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see it.
Going in
I
the
can
wrong
feel
Like,
it.
hey,
state.
just keep it
I'm
quiet.
almost-
I like that.
Going over here. You're not fooling me.
I like that. I've seen a lot of you. Okay, I know how it works. I know how it works.
It's for the boys. I got it.
Dude, I appreciate you, man.
No,
You're
of
awesome.
course.
We'll have you on again at some point throughout the course of the year. And we should,
Sundress
For
shit.
sure.
Huh?
Sundress season.
I haven't talked about that.
No, no.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
It's not there yet. We got a couple months between
It's
that.
early, yeah.
We'll get
it's
That
early.
and jean shorts,
What is it, February?
crop tops,
Crop top.
crop tops, jean shorts,
Crop top.
sundress. That's coming in
Not
about
Friday
2.5
night, though.
After
It's supposed to
St.
be like 40 degrees, huh?
Yeah.
Just hope the wind's
I'll
not
be
blowing.
watching on
You'll be
TV.
fine if the wind's
I'm
not
gonna watch it on
That'll be
TV
good.
on Friday.
Yeah.
I'll be there on Saturday, but I'll watch it on TV on Friday. You know, after St. Patty's Day is when you start seeing the
Yeah.
The matriculation.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
after March 15th.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got
There
to
you
be.
go.
Yeah, he knows.
There you go.
That's
Seasoned
after St.
vet,
Patty's
baby.
Day.
Starts heating
There
up,
you
the
go.
wind starts blowing straight
There
out.
you go.
There you go. He gets it.
Yeah.
See, he
You
knows.
know.
Walk out. Oh, it's a great day to be a righty.
Yeah. You know, everybody knows.
You might
it.
be from Louisiana now. You get
Everybody
it.
knows it. Bro, I appreciate you.
No, yeah,
Thank
of course.
you.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, anytime. And looking forward to this weekend.
So,
All right, we're gonna take a 30-second break, get him out of here, so that we're not, fumbling over the cameras and stuff. You're watching Mik'd Up. We'll be back in, let's say, a